The rain pounded relentlessly on the cracked sidewalk as Harold Jenkins, frail and trembling at 92, clutched his faded military cap against the wind. "Go away, old man," the young security guard snarled, shoving him back from the gleaming doors of the Veterans Memorial Hall where a gallop buzzed inside. In that moment, Harold's chest tightened not from the cold, but from the crushing weight of invisibility, a lifetime of sacrifices erased in a single dismissive glance. Harold had always been a man of quiet endurance. Born in the dusty plains of Oklahoma in 1933, he grew up during the Great Depression, scavenging for scraps to feed his family of 7. When World War II erupted, he enlisted at 18, lying about his age to join the fight against tyranny. The beaches of Normandy still haunted his dreams. The thunder of artillery, the screams of comrades falling like autumn leaves, the metallic tang of blood mixing with salt water. He carried shrapnel in his leg for decades, a silent reminder of the day he dragged 2 wounded soldiers to safety under enemy fire. Medals gathered dust in his attic silver star, Purple Heart, but they couldn't fill the void left by his wife, Eleanor, who passed 10 years ago from cancer, or his son, lost to Vietnam's jungles. Now, in the twilight of his life, Harold lived alone in a modest apartment on the outskirts of Washington, D.C. His days blurred into a routine of black coffee, old war documentaries, and the occasional visit from a neighbor's cat. He'd heard about the annual Veterans Appreciation Gala through a crumpled flyer at the local VA clinic. It promised speeches, camaraderie, a chance to reconnect with the past. Dressed in his best, his ancient uniform tailored loosely over his shrunken frame, taken 2 buses and walked 3 blocks in the downpour, hoping for a flicker of recognition. But the guard, barely out of his teens, saw only a disheveled intruder. "This event's for invited guests only. Move along," he barked, his voice laced with impatience. As Harold turned away, his cane slipping on the wet pavement, a wave of despair washed over him. Was this what it came to? A hero reduced to a nuisance? He trudged back toward the bus stop, the city lights blurring through tears he refused to let fall. Little did he know, a young woman named Mia Rodriguez had been watching from across the street. Mia, a 25-year-old journalism student interning at a local news outlet, was on her way home from a late shift. Something about the old man's dignified retreat tugged at her heart. She pulled out her phone and discreetly filmed the encounter, the guard's harsh words cutting through the rain's roar. By the time Harold reached his apartment, soaked and shivering, Mia had uploaded the video to social media with a caption, "Is this how we treat our veterans? This man deserves better." She didn't expect much, just a few shares among her friends. But as she drifted off to sleep, the post began to spread like wildfire. Comments poured in. "Heartbreaking. We owe them everything. Who is he?" Overnight, it garnered thousands of views, shared by influencers, veterans groups, and even a congressman's aide. The next morning, Harold woke to the insistent buzzing of his ancient landline. Groggy and confused, he answered to a barrage of voices: reporters, organizers, strangers offering apologies. "Mr. Jenkins? We're so sorry about last night. Please, come back today. The nation wants to honor you." He stared at the receiver, his mind reeling. Honor? After being told to go away? It felt like a dream, or perhaps a cruel joke. But as he hung up, a spark ignited in his weary eyes, the first in years. Mia, meanwhile, refreshed her feed obsessively. Her video had gone viral, amassing over 1 million views. She dug deeper, using her internship resources to research Harold's background. What she uncovered moved her to tears. Official records of his bravery in World War II, a commendation from General Eisenhower himself, buried in dusty archives. She reached out to him directly, her voice trembling as she explained what happened. "Sir, your story needs to be told. May I interview you?" Harold hesitated. Opening old wounds wasn't easy, but Mia's sincerity chipped away at his walls. They met at a nearby diner, where he shared tales of storming Omaha Beach, the friends he'd lost, the letters from Eleanor that kept him going. Mia listened, her notebook filling with notes, her heart swelling with admiration. Unbeknownst to Harold, this conversation would become the catalyst for something extraordinary. As the day unfolded, the gala's organizers scrambled. The video's backlash was immense. Public outrage flooded their inboxes. They issued a statement. We deeply regret the incident and extend our heartfelt invitation to Mr. Harold Jenkins as our guest of honor. Social media buzzed with support, hashtags like Honor Harold trending nationwide. Veterans from across the country shared their own stories of neglect, turning one man's humiliation into a movement for recognition. By afternoon, Harold found himself back at the Memorial Hall, this time escorted like royalty. The same guard from last night stood sheepishly at the door, mumbling an apology. Inside, the room fell silent as he entered, then erupted in applause. A podium awaited, but first, Mia took the stage unexpectedly. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, her voice steady despite nerves. "This isn't just about one veteran. It's about all who've served and been forgotten. Meet Harold Jenkins, a true American hero." Harold's speech was simple, raw. He spoke of duty, loss, the enduring bond of brotherhood. Tears flowed freely among the audience, politicians, families, fellow vets. In that moment, the country's gratitude enveloped him, mending fractures he didn't know still ached. Yet, as the applause faded, Harold felt a profound shift. It wasn't just about the honor, it was about being seen, valued. Mia's twist of fate had rewritten his narrative, reminding everyone that heroes walk among us, often unnoticed until a single act of kindness illuminates their light. But the day held more surprises. As Harold mingled, a man in his 70s approached, eyes wide with recognition. "Jenkins?" From the 29th Infantry. It was Sergeant Ellis, a comrade Harold thought long dead, separated during the chaos of D-Day. Their embrace, captured by cameras, became the image of reconciliation, adding layers of emotion to an already poignant tale. The evening culminated in a national broadcast, where the president himself called in, praising Harold's service. Medals were pinned anew, scholarships announced in his name for veterans' children. Harold, overwhelmed, whispered to Mia, "You gave me a second life." As night fell, Harold returned home, his heart full. The rain had stopped, stars piercing the sky like distant salutes. For the first time in decades, he slept peacefully, dreaming not of war, but of hope. The echoes of applause still rang in Harold's ears as he settled into his worn armchair that night, the weight of the day's events pressing on him like a warm blanket. But beneath the triumph lurked a quiet unease. Had it all been too fleeting? Mia's viral video had thrust him into the spotlight, but fame was a double-edged sword, stirring memories he'd long buried. In the following weeks, Harold's life transformed. Invitations flooded his mailbox, talk shows, parades, even a book deal from a publisher eager to chronicle his exploits. Mia became his unofficial guardian, filtering requests and ensuring he wasn't overwhelmed. Their bond deepened. She visited daily, bringing homemade meals and stories from her own life. Orphaned young, Mia had pursued journalism to give voice to the voiceless, never imagining her path would intersect with a World War II hero. One afternoon, as they sifted through old photos in Harold's attic, a yellowed letter slipped from an album. It was from Eleanor, dated 1944. "My dearest Harold, come home safe. Our child awaits." Harold's hands shook. He'd never spoken of the baby they lost to miscarriage while he was overseas, a pain too deep to share. Mia read it silently, then hugged him. "She'd be proud of you now," she whispered, her words unlocking a floodgate of grief and healing. But not all attention was kind. Trolls emerged online, questioning his medals, calling the video staged. "Just another old guy seeking pity," one comment read. Harold brushed it off, but Mia fumed, defending him fiercely in articles. Her persistence uncovered a twist. The security guard, named Tyler, was a veteran himself, fresh from Afghanistan, struggling with PTSD. He'd been having a bad day, his own demons clouding his judgment. Mia tracked him down, arranging a private meeting. Tyler arrived at Harold's door, hat in hand, eyes downcast. "I didn't know who you were, sir. I'm sorry." What followed was an unexpected conversation, two generations of warriors sharing scars. Harold forgave him instantly, seeing echoes of his younger self in Tyler's haunted gaze. "War changes us all, son, but it doesn't define us." Tyler left transformed, vowing to volunteer at veteran centers. This reconciliation, leaked to the press by Mia, humanized the story further, emphasizing forgiveness over blame. As Harold's fame grew, he used it for good. He spoke at schools, recounting D-Day not as glory, but as a cautionary tale of humanity's cost. Children listened wide-eyed, one boy asking, "Were you scared?" Harold nodded. "Every day? But fear makes bravery real." These interactions reignited his purpose, reminding him that his service extended beyond the battlefield. Yet, a larger twist loomed. During a national TV interview, a woman called in live. "Harold? This is Clara, your sister." Harold's heart stopped. Clara, presumed dead in a childhood accident, had survived, adopted by another family. Separated at age 5 during the Depression, she'd searched for him fruitlessly until the video surfaced. Their reunion, broadcast nationwide, was a whirlwind of tears and laughter. Clara, now 87, flew in from California, bringing photos of their parents and tales of a life parallel to his. With Clara by his side, Harold delved into lost family history. They visited grave sites, shared recipes from their mother, and marveled at the serendipity. Mia captured it all in a documentary, weaving threads of loss, resilience, and rediscovery. The film premiered to acclaim, highlighting not just Harold's war heroism, but the everyday battles of aging alone. Challenges arose too. Harold's health faltered. A minor stroke left him with a limp, echoing his old war wound. Doctors urged rest, but he refused, attending a congressional hearing on veterans' rights. "We've fought for this country," he testified, voice steady. "Now fight for us." His words spurred legislation, increasing funding for elder care. Through it all, Mia's role evolved from savior to surrogate granddaughter. She introduced him to her boyfriend, Alex, a history buff who idolized Harold's era. Alex helped digitize Harold's memorabilia, creating an online archive that educated thousands. As months passed, Harold reflected on the irony. One rejection had led to boundless affirmation. The country's honor wasn't medals or parades, it was the connections forged, the lives touched. He wrote letters to Tyler, mentoring him through recovery, and to Clara, planning visits. One crisp autumn day, Harold stood at the memorial hall again, this time unveiling a plaque in his name. The guard Tyler saluted sharply. Mia beamed, camera in hand. Harold's speech ended with, "Remember, every veteran has a story. Listen before it's too late." But as winter approached, shadows lengthened. Harold sensed his time waning, yet peace enveloped him. With family rediscovered and legacy secured, he faced the horizon unafraid. Winter's chill seeped into Harold's bones as he gazed out his window, snow blanketing the city like a shroud over forgotten graves. The whirlwind of fame had slowed, but its ripples continued. Letters from strangers, donations to veterans' causes in his name. Yet, in quiet moments, he pondered the fragility of it all, how one viral moment had resurrected his spirit, only for time to whisper of endings. Clara's presence became a lifeline. She moved in temporarily, filling the apartment with laughter and the aroma of apple pie, their mother's recipe. They spent evenings poring over scrapbooks, piecing together fractured childhoods. "I thought you were gone forever," Clara confessed one night, tears glistening. Harold squeezed her hand. Fate has a way of circling back. Their bond, forged late, underscored life's unpredictability, a poignant reminder that family endures beyond years. Mia, ever the catalyst, organized a family gathering. Alex proposed to her there, kneeling with Harold's blessing. "You've given us all a second chance," Alex said. The event drew media, but Harold steered focus to broader issues. Isolation among elders, the mental toll of service. He launched a foundation, Heroes Unseen, funding companionship programs for veterans. A new twist emerged unexpectedly. During a routine checkup, doctors discovered an old war artifact, a forgotten bullet fragment, near Harold's heart. Surgery was risky at his age, but necessary. As he lay in pre-op, fear gripped him, not of death, but of unfinished stories. Tyler visited, sharing his progress. Therapy, a job helping vets. "You saved me, sir." Harold smiled weakly. "We save each other." The operation succeeded, but recovery was grueling. Bedridden, Harold dictated memoirs to Mia, reliving battles with vivid detail. Normandy's chaos unfolded anew, the landing craft's jolt, bullets whizzing like angry bees, the surge forward amid carnage. He spoke of Private Ramirez, a buddy who died in his arms, whispering final words for his family. "Find them," Ramirez begged. Harold had tried post-war, but failed until now. Inspired, Mia investigated. Using digital archives, she located Ramirez's descendants in Texas. A phone call bridged decades. Your grandfather saved my life. The family flew in, gratitude overflowing. Maria, Ramirez's granddaughter, hugged Harold. He spoke of you in letters. This reunion amplified the narrative, showing war's intergenerational echoes. As Harold mended, national recognition peaked. The president awarded him the Medal of Honor in a White House ceremony, citing not just World War II feats, but his advocacy. Cameras flashed as Harold, supported by Kane and Clara, accepted. This is for all who've served silently, he declared, voice cracking with emotion. The room stood, ovation thundering. Post-ceremony, challenges persisted. Bureaucracy delayed foundation funds. Skeptics questioned his motives. But Harold persevered, mentoring young vets like Tyler. A woman named Lena from Iraq tours, shared her struggles with reintegration. I feel invisible, she admitted. Harold nodded. I did too until someone saw me. Lena joined the foundation, her story adding diversity to the cause. Spring brought renewal. Harold traveled to Normandy for the 81st D-Day anniversary, Clara and Mia accompanying. Standing on Omaha Beach, wind whipping, he scattered Ramirez's ashes sent by the family. Ghosts whispered. Peace settled. We've come full circle, Clara said. Back home, Harold's health stabilized, but he knew time was finite. He wrote a letter to the nation, published widely. Honor isn't Paradis, it's compassion daily. See the elderly, hear their tales. In them lies our history, our humanity. Mia's documentary aired, winning awards, sparking dialogues on aging veterans. Viewers donated millions, expanding programs. Harold watched from his chair, humbled. One go-away led to this, he marveled. As summer dawned, Harold hosted a backyard barbecue for new friends. Tyler, Lena, Ramirez's kin. Laughter mingled with stories, forging unbreakable ties. In this tapestry of lives, Harold found ultimate honor not in acclaim, but in love's quiet victory over loneliness. Yet, a final reflection lingered. Life's twists, from rejection to reverence, taught resilience. Harold closed his eyes that night, content, his legacy a beacon for generations. The golden hues of autumn returned, casting a warm glow on Harold's life as he approached his 93rd birthday. The foundation thrived, with chapters nationwide offering support groups, tech classes for elders, and story-sharing events. Harold's role shifted to figurehead, but his influence remained profound, each success a testament to one man's unyielding spirit. Clara stayed permanently, their sibling bond a daily joy. They reminisced about Oklahoma Dust Bowls, sibling pranks, the pain of separation. We lost so much time, Clara sighed. Harold replied. But we gained wisdom in the wait. Their example inspired others. Adoption reunions surged, crediting Harold's story. Mia's wedding to Alex was a highlight. Harold walked her down the aisle, his steps steady despite age. Your family now, he told her, eyes misty. The event, intimate yet covered by press, celebrated love's triumph. Mia's vows nodded to Harold. You taught me heroism is kindness in action. Post-wedding, a subtle shift occurred. Harold experienced vivid dreams, Eleanor visiting, young and vibrant. You've done well, my love, she said. Waking, he felt urgency to tie loose ends. He visited the VA, advocating for better mental health resources, drawing from Tyler's journey. An unexpected visitor arrived, the president, in a private call. Your story moved the nation. What more can we do? Harold requested expanded benefits for all vets, not just World War II. Legislation passed swiftly, named the Jenkins Act a crowning achievement. As winter neared, health declined again. Pneumonia struck, hospitalizing him. Surrounded by loved ones, Harold shared final wisdom. To Tyler, lead with empathy. To Lena, your voice matters. To Clara, we found each other, that's enough. To Mia, keep telling stories, they heal. Word spread, vigils formed outside. Strangers sent cards, veterans saluted virtually. In his room, Harold watched news clips of his life. The viral video, reunions, honors. Not bad for an old man told to go away, he chuckled weakly. Recovery came slowly, but Harold emerged stronger in spirit. He authored a children's book, The Forgotten Hero, illustrated with war sketches. It topped charts, teaching kids respect for elders. Spring bloomed with a national holiday proposal, Veterans Remembrance Day, inspired by Harold. Congress debated, support poured in. Harold testified virtually, his words resonant. Honor us not once, but always through actions, not just words. Personal milestones dotted the year. Ramirez's family hosted him in Texas, where he saw a memorial park named after his friend. Emotions surged, closure arrived. As summer waned, Harold reflected on the journey. From that rainy rejection to nationwide reverence, life's twists, viral fame, lost sister found, intergenerational bonds wove a narrative of redemption. The true value lay in humanity, forgiveness, connection, perseverance. On his 93rd birthday, a parade in D.C. honored him. Crowds cheered. Harold waved from a float, heart full. "Thank you," he mouthed, tears flowing. In quiet aftermath, Harold knew peace. His story, etched in hearts, ensured no veteran would be forgotten. As stars twinkled, he whispered to Eleanor, "We made it." The end came gently, months later, surrounded by family. But his legacy endured a nation's awakened conscience, proving one voice can echo eternally. In honoring Harold, America honored itself, embracing the profound truth. True heroes teach us to see the invisible, love the overlooked, and heal through humanity's shared light.